Hello, and welcome to the certification course for toddler and preschool dance. I'm Ashley from Once Upon a Ballet, and I'm going to be your guide. So, I would like to welcome you. And this video is a little bit of a welcome video. I kind of wanted to just dive into um, the topic of teaching because, we're all teachers here. And I think sometimes we can get caught up in the technical aspects of teaching and exactly what we're teaching. But I really wanted to start by talking about how we're teaching and how we are affecting our students um, through our teaching. So that's what this video is about. Um, yeah, so let's dive in. Teaching is really an art form. It's all about communication and connection. And I think to be a truly effective toddler and preschool dance teacher, we have to be able to clearly communicate with our students on their level, which is not always easy because, toddlers and preschoolers often, um, you know, they're such it's such a wonderful age in some ways, and then at the same time it can be such a difficult age because it's almost like they can't fully communicate yet, and they're learning to communicate. So I think we as teachers really have to think about how we're communicating with our toddler and preschool students. And then we also need to connect with them. We need to be able to engage them and keep their attention in class, and that stems from connection. We definitely need to practice. As the teacher, we're still learning. We're always learning in our classes. We're learning from experiences in our classes. And then we're also learning from, taking a course like this or reading a book or a blog post or an article. Also collaborating with other teachers. So we have this cycle where we learn and then we practice by teaching, and then we learn and teach and learn and teach. And I think that when we recognize that this cycle is continuing over and over again, that we're never truly finished learning, that is what, makes the best teachers. So let's talk about communicating. This is so important that we really know our students and we know their temperaments. We know that one student may be very easygoing and another student may get frustrated very easily. So when we know our students, I think that can really help our teaching, and it can make our classes go a lot more smoothly. For toddlers, and when I say toddlers in this course, I'm going to be referring to 18 to 36 months, and assume that they are being taught with a parent or caregiver alongside. And I think for toddlers, not only are we communicating with the toddler, but we also need to make sure we don't forget that we need to communicate with the parent, right? So the parent is kind of the toddler's guide. So when we give instructions in class or, corrections or even compliments, make sure that we don't forget about the parent. Because when we talk to the parent and the parent feels confident that they know their role in the class, then that makes class go much more smoothly. It makes our parents happier, and it makes our toddlers happier. And then preschoolers for this course is going to be 3 to 5 years old. I do know that some of you teach sometimes 2.5 years old at as individual, like not with their parent or caregiver. So if you do teach like a 2.5 to 3.5-year-old class, I would, for the purpose of this course, the 3 to 4-year-old class would be pretty much the same for that. So, we have to think about what our students' world looks like. What is exciting to them. And when it comes to dance class, there really shouldn't be anything that they would consider work. It all needs to be games. It all needs to be fun and engaging. pretty much because of their development at their age, which we will talk more about in a little bit here. So, let's think about what development stage they are in. For their physical development, what level of body awareness do they have? To what degree do they have the ability to control their movements? Toddlers especially really they don't really think about their movements. They kind of just go and they just do, and they don't have full control. And while preschoolers have more control than a toddler, they still are learning and they're still developing body awareness. That's a huge thing. So we can't, for example, necessarily expect a 3-year-old to be able to do, a plie turned out with correct posture and placement. It's just not in their physical development yet. They don't have that body of awareness and that control. So, we also need to think about their mental development. And this is their attention span. How long can we expect them to be able to pay attention? And I believe I can't remember now. It's either 2 to 5 or 3 to 5 minutes per year old they are, is what their attention span is. So when we think about that can really help guide our classes and how we plan them and then how we execute them. Also, what sparks their interest? What engages them? We can't force technique, not only because, like we just talked about, physical development, but also because of their mental development. We're going to completely lose their interest if we are trying to practice a bunch of skills and, more technical exercises. So everything needs to be a game. Everything needs to be imaginative and creative. And, let them role play. When they are pretending that they're animals or princesses or, a character from another story, maybe they're themselves, but they're going to the zoo or the park or the fair. Whatever it is, use their imaginations. And when they become someone else, or when we take them to somewhere that's exciting in their imagination, then they're going to work really hard without even knowing it. And then their emotional development, what does their social interaction look like? A toddler, for example, is, not going to be as interested as interacting with another toddler. Most often they will, even when they play side by side. They don't necessarily interact with each other so much. And then preschoolers, they're still kind of doing that side-by-side interaction, but they're beginning to play more with each other. We also have to think about how much empathy they have for others. So, if a child hasn't developed empathy, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to wait their turn, because they're not thinking about, I should wait quietly while my friend has a turn to, say, go across the floor. It's going to be much more difficult because they don't have that empathy. And then, obviously, it's more difficult for them to regulate their own emotions. So it's really hard to, use any kind of logic or reasoning. Everything is emotional, which also means that when we make things much more magical and imaginative, like we talked a little bit about already, that can have really great results in our classes. So I think as teachers, it can be really easy to just focus on the physical development of our students. I know, at least for me, that was one of my biggest things when I started teaching. I wanted my students to be able to do certain things, and it was all about what could they do physically. But as I learned that there's a mental and emotional factors in there as well, when you think about the whole child and their experience, that is what's going to really take your classes to the next level. And then you probably already know this, but I feel like it can never be said too many times. Especially because toddlers and preschoolers are so emotional and they haven't fully developed that rational brain, and they really wear their emotions on their sleeves. We really need to plan. So, be prepared. Show up on time, or really early would be better. um, know your lesson plans, know your curriculum, your backup activities, any classroom management strategies, and your students. Like, know all of these things from the inside out. Make sure you have your music ready. You know, really, you never want to wing a toddler or preschool class. Even if you've been teaching for years and years, at this point you probably have your lesson plans and curriculum and everything memorized, but you know them. And then you have new students every year, so you need to make sure you know them too. So just plan and be prepared, and be positive. Put on a smile. And I know that every day, so there are some days that can be hard to do, but you're showing up for your students, and when you show up positive and prepared and just ready to teach and to give them a great experience day in and day out, that is what is also going to set you apart from other teachers. And that's kind of the practice part that we talked about at the beginning of this video, where we learn and then we practice, and we learn and then we practice. Because continuing to grow and to change is really what makes us the best teachers. It's going to make you a better teacher than you were yesterday. And, there's always more that we can learn as teachers. And I think that the best teachers even know that they don't know everything. There's always something that you don't know, and you will never have truly seen it all. So, I hope that this course enlightens you. I hope it gives you many more tools in your teacher toolbox. And I hope that you just really enjoy it and dive into it and learn from it. And, if you're a very seasoned teacher, there may be things that you already know, and I hope that that's a great review for you. If you're a new teacher, I think there's going to be a ton of information that really make a difference in your beginning teaching. And if you're a seasoned teacher, there's a lot of information here. So I'm sure there's something new to bring to the table for you. So the schedule for the course, this is Module 1, the first section of it. And every Friday, a new module will be released. So today is August 24th, if you are doing this in real time. Module 2 will be released on August 31st, and then Module 3 will be released the week after that, Module 4 the week after that. Then at the end of each module, there is an assignment. Once you complete all the assignments, then that is what's going to officially make you a certified teacher. And once you're certified is when you get all the extra bonuses. Every Friday also, you can submit questions. I'm going to do a Q&A video each week. And so for this Module 1, if you're taking this in real time, you'll submit any questions you have by next Friday, August 31st. And then the following Wednesday, I will upload a video from all the questions. That way, if there's, multiple questions that are similar, I can kind of consolidate them. And then, if you have more questions beyond that, just email me. I think you all know my email address at this point, but just in case, it's ashley@onceuponaballet.dance. And I will respond by the following business day at the latest. I try, especially for the next month, to really make sure that I reply to you right away. So I'll try to do it the same day, but if not the same day, I will get back to you by the following day. Final note, the modules 2, 3, and 4, those assignments are all your own lesson plan based on what we talked about in the module. So, Module 2, you'll have a lesson plan for toddlers. Module 3 will be a lesson plan for younger preschoolers, so the 3 to 4 year olds. And then Module 4 will be a lesson plan for 4 to 5 year olds, so older preschoolers. And you can submit that as a written lesson plan. You can submit it if you want to, make a quick video. You're welcome to do that if that's easier than typing everything out for you. Or if you're teaching right now, you're welcome to submit a class, whichever is best for you. And I will give you, constructive feedback on your submitted lesson plan or class. So I think that's everything. If I forget, one more thing, I will send a quick email out every Monday with just a couple of updates and reminding you, hey, check out the latest module that was posted the previous Friday. So you should be getting those the next few weeks as well. So again, please email me if you have any questions at all. Module 1 is a lot more presentation style, and then modules 2, 3, and 4 do have a lot more videos with concrete activities. I wanted to give a very basic overview of more like theory and ideas, and then dive into the specifics with 2, 3, and 4. So I think that's it, and I will see you in the next video.